Welcome back everyone to 1920 Gaming. This is FIFA 20's career mode. We're here with Kilmarnock once again, starting the episode off with a big win to continue our impressive ways in league form. Beating Hamilton 4-1 following a 3-1 league win against Rangers. We're in really good form in the league at the moment. We've got another round of Champions League qualifiers in today's episode, as well as we are still in the transfer window, remember. So yeah, it's going to be another packed one, as the first episode of the season was. Can't wait to get into it and see what happens. We got some big games again today, as well as the one you've just seen. We've got games against Aberdeen, Hibs as well. And like I say, there's the Champions League qualifiers sandwiched in between them. So we're starting off with a little bit of training, mixed bag of results there really. Yearwood not doing too well with his F. As you can see in the bottom left, I've had a transfer offer for O'Donnell. And I'm thinking he was, if you remember back to the first episode, which by the way, if you haven't seen that, it is up on the channel now and it's worth going to watch. He was one on a list of players that I was willing to let go this season. So we've accepted an offer, I believe, for him already. But before we get into anything else really, I think it's time to start this qualifying game off against Zagreb. We are again at home first, so that is an advantage. And again, it's going to be just as it was in the Europa League last season, probably the second lot of players, the fringe players if you like, that will get the nod for the Champions League qualifying games. I'm actually having a little bit of a change of heart at the moment by the looks of it. I do remember actually thinking at this point, do we bring in potential replacements for O'Donnell and Millen now? Only because if we keep O'Donnell and we get these in now, we can probably get them on a better squad role. If we let O'Donnell go first, especially Manuel here, if we go for him, he would probably want Crucial, where he might not while O'Donnell's still here. And that looks like it was to be the thinking. So we're going to negotiate a deal for him here with the Bolton manager. See if we can get him through the door. I can't remember what we paid for him, so we'll sit through this together. He's valued at 1.8, and I'm thinking maybe we go lower first, but at the same time with O'Donnell leaving, I don't want to pay them off and have him storm out. We do go with a 1.6 million bid for him, see if that gets accepted or not. I should mention why we're doing this in the background, that we have been backed by the chairman this season. There was the meeting that I would normally show, but I've got to re-find the clip of it. It's disappeared. And yeah, we were told that we could spend money, maybe even raise the wage bill a little bit if we have to, basically because we have won the league. The board accepts that we can't just sit still. Part of renegotiating and me not walking out on the contract was that we do get backed this season after we cut our cloth more than accordingly during January last season. So there was some open, honest and heated discussion there, but they have been willing to back us at the beginning of the season, which is why we've got money to spend at the moment, plus of course the player sales money as well. But yeah, we're allowed to spend everything that we've got. We are allowed to raise the wage bill if needs be, but if we're not where the club wants us to be in January, we're going to have another painful January. So a lot of pressure on every game this season. and at the moment we're doing quite well. But that meeting was had between this episode and the last one, so yeah, that pressure wasn't really there at the beginning, but it is there now. And we did manage to get Emmanuel through the door, but obviously we're looking to move on Milan as well. Well, yeah, Emmanuel, I've already said it now, there's no point backtracking, does come through the door. We're looking to replace Milan as well, so we will need to go for another right back. But yeah, that's where the state of things are at the moment in terms of the club. We are being backed, but obviously if we do go ahead and spend all the money, then we've got to make sure that we're in position to be competing to bring enough money in that warrants the money that we're spending. Basically, the club has to be self-sufficient, is what the chairman's been saying. Because obviously we know all of his money at the beginning of this career mode. We touched on it, was all tied up in the new grounds that we're playing in at the moment. We're still developing the youth academy. That's 2/3 of the way done now. We're signing a lot of new. Well, we're in the process of signing new scouts and everything as well. Basically, we're lining up all our ducks to become a real European power. But we're still very, very in the early stages of that. So that being said, we know where we want to go, but we have to be realistic with where we are. That was the top and bottom of the meeting. But like I say, Emmanuel's coming now. We did get him through the door for what I thought was a fair price. We're looking at Duncan here because of Milan leaving, and I did like the fact that even though he's got a weak foot where I wouldn't want to use him too often out on the left, he can play left and right back, so more than useful. And then we come across Diaby here, who is free. I know he's only 57 rated, but you saw, if you've been watching, the way that we've been playing recently. We are asking our fullbacks to bomb forward and get back, obviously when we turn over the ball as well. And I liked the fact that he had high work rates. The rest of his stuff we can work on. So this would be a real handy signing if we can get this done. And of course it's costing us next to nothing in wages, and it didn't cost us a transfer fee either. So I just didn't really see the point in not doing that. I believe, if I remember rightly, that is now all that we do before we get into the first game of the day, which is the Champions League qualifier. There's a lot of players to look through here at the moment. Some of them probably won't even make it to this club, who knows, but them there, we scouted them all. We are active and busy in trying to improve the squad, but it's baby steps for us at the moment. And it looks like that I do remember rightly this time, and we advance into the Champions League playoff round, the qualifying rounds. And as you can see there, Valenzuela goes right before a crucial game. I'd have loved him to have stayed at least until we played this first leg, but it wasn't to be. He's gone. We got a decent amount of money for him. Offer comes in here for Thomas as well, so he could be on his way out. We're really transforming the team this season. We've had to. We've got to move with the times. We've got to bring them average ages down and improve the areas where we were weak, obviously. Now, as for putting the squad together for this game, like I said, everyone would be in the second string, basically. Would be getting the nod, so we have gone with Cameron up front. Hazard may still have to play at the moment. Just say it off. Yeah, probably Hazard's going to get the nod. He just looks that little bit fresher than Seedorf. So we're going with Junior, who I have full confidence when he plays anyway. We got Thomas. We got our young Spaniard Morales next to Tonali. Duncan's coming in for this one. Diaby's going to get a debut as well. It's just which way around we play them. We've got Robinson still in there. Next to, I can't even say his name. It's really frustrating. But yeah, that's the team that's going to go and take to the field. We are at home, so I would like to think that we could get the win today. But we shall see. It's Champions League, anything can happen. It's great that we're even in this competition. We've got to enjoy it. Obviously, it's not the group phase yet, so I may start taking it a bit more seriously if and once we get to the group phase. But that's a long way off yet. We've got to get through this round. I'm not even sure if there is another round. Hopefully we can get it all done in one leg, which would be really nice. We pretty much did that the first set of games against Legia. They left themselves a little bit of hope, but we pretty much did do the job in the first leg in that one. It would be great if we could do that again. But it seems like I think these will be probably a bit tougher than Legia, and they are 1-0 up already. We have got to do better than that. 5.5 minutes into a massive game like this, there was a hint of offside for me. It didn't get called, and he's got way too much space there. They're number 9 in our box. No one really picked him up, and we find ourselves 1-0 down. And so much for getting it all done in one leg, I suppose. We've now got to go out there, find an equaliser, and turn this game on its head, really. And it hasn't been great. We've been absolutely disgusting, really. Look at that, off the inside of the post now. These players really need to wake up. We're just too easy to play against at the moment. We're turning the ball over far too easily. They're having their way almost. That's a decent ball clipped out to Hazard though from Cameron. Can he get it back off him now? Maybe he can, and he has put us back in it. We don't deserve it one little bit, but I'll definitely take it. That is a huge goal in this club's history at the moment. That's relief. That is absolute relief, because we have been terrible, absolutely terrible. But we've been thrown a lifeline now with Cameron. Watching back, I did see the run being made through the centre just as he clipped the ball out to Hazard. Thankfully I didn't notice that at the time, because what we did turned out in a goal. But yeah, hopefully that can kick us on now, because we don't deserve at all to be in this game. And one thing that we have got to realise is their goal is also a goal away from home, so we need another couple. We're moving the ball around a lot better now, as you can see. It's 1 and 2 touch stuff. It's in front of them at the moment, but it might just give us that little bit of control, a little bit of confidence. That's not too bad through there. Cameron's gave it straight back off to Hazard again, and Junior's in now. That is a penalty, referee. He's got a goal, surely. We're just about to shoot there. Is he going to get sent off, or... No, he's going to only get a yellow. That's a bad challenge, that. We're not saying that Junior would have scored. I'd like to think he would have. He's just got completely tripped. He's even raised his leg. How on earth that's not a red for me? He's clearly through on goal. I just don't really know, but we've got the big man now, Tonali, the captain, on the penalty, and he's put it freaking wide. Are you kidding? Why didn't the time shot work as well? Oh, this game's not going to plan at all. I cannot believe he's missed that. Really can't believe that. The game could turn again on that. We were just building up a bit of confidence, and now we're going to miss a penalty. But can Thomas do something here? He smashed it, but it smashed it wide. And that is exactly why we need to look for wingers, because Thomas's start to the season has been really poor. As soon as we can get everyone fit and the fixture list calms down a little bit, he's not going to be in the first team. I'm going to give Seedorf the nod over him, I think. He's just not doing it this season. I don't know what's the matter with him. But anyway, back to this game. Another foul from these here. Is that going to be a card? It is. That's a yellow as well. These are really aggressive in a bad way at the moment. I mean, there's no need for that foul at all there. But no, we've got Tonali on the ball again. Out to Diaby. Back into Tonali. We might just see this out and take the 1-1 at half time and then go again maybe. We're just knocking it around the back nicely now, and we can just see that half time is coming. Zagreb can't get near us at the moment, but again, everything is in front of them. No real urgency, it's just get to half time now, unless Hazard could maybe do something here. Pokes it back to Tonali again, just rolls it off to Junior. Decent turn by Thomas, that one, and Diaby's actually got in. Is that not another pen? Come on, referee, that's just as bad as the first one. He's not even blue for half time, he's give a corner. That was most definitely a penalty. Can we do something with a corner? We can do something with a corner. It's Cameron again, he's come up big in this game, Cameron. He's flicked it in at the far post. It turns out we didn't need the penalty in the end anyway, and somehow we're 2-1 up at half time. We have had a good last 10 minutes of the half, but all of it leading up to that, the other 35 minutes were terrible. But yeah, I think we've got a bit lucky. We should have had a penalty anyway, I suppose. Cameron's bagged 2 in this game, and hopefully now we can just go on and yeah, pull away from them if we can. And that has absolutely not happened at all. As you can see, we've jumped straight to the 80th minute pretty much because the game has been completely dead this half. We might be able to do something here with Junior though, and there, the wrong pass. We obviously just wanted to roll that one off. Games chose something different, and that's been pretty much the story of the second half. It's been completely dead. There might be something for Zagreb here though on the counter. That's pretty much what they've settled for this second half. We've had stacks and stacks of the ball, but pretty much just played in front of them. It's been difficult to get in behind. It's almost like we took the lead and there was like, well, don't let them get any further ahead and we'll try and do something back at Zagreb. That really seems to be the case. There's been, as you can see from that cross there as well, just a lack of quality in the second half. Really, honestly and truly, nothing has happened. But can we steal something at the end of the second, just as we did the first? We can't. Thomas just seems to have lost that yard of pace at the moment. He couldn't get away from his man, even when he was clean through. And that might just be about it, guys, to be honest. There can't be much in way of injury time left. And as you can see, the way that they're just popping it about, this is what I mean by the game being dead. Although, just as I say that, I really hope I've not just jinxed myself there. That's a good cutback as well. Good defending though, and that is definitely going to end the game, I would imagine. It does indeed, and we do take a 2-1 win to their place. Could have done with another couple of goals, but they just weren't there, guys. The performance weren't there today. Really disappointing, except for the result. And yeah, we've still got work to do when we go away. But that's done it for the first full game. It's always good to leave with the win, obviously. And there's just a nice shot of our glorious stadium decked out on a Champions League night. Under the lights, just absolutely fantastic. And we move from that into the game against Aberdeen. This was highlights because normally we just brush these aside now, as we know. But look at that for a start. I was feeling quite flat, quite low after the Champions League game. Just because it was a really poor performance, and I suppose that made this one that bit more dangerous. But look at that for a finish from Seedorf, and that is an example of why, as soon as the fixtures calm down and I can get him into the first team fit, that's exactly what's going to happen. And then we've got Cruz going through to make it 2-1. good start to the season he's had as well. Good start to life here for him, really. Now we've got Parrott here. His shot gets blocked, unfortunately. They get away with that one. It was a good performance, to be fair, against Aberdeen. Cruz here with a chance to double up, and it is a great fingertip save from the Aberdeen keeper. We've got another attack coming right at the end of the game. Yearwood this time somehow puts it really wide from there. He did have a pass on as well. I didn't notice that at the time, but I did watching his highlights with you. But oh well, we get the 2-1 win anyway, so it didn't turn out to be majorly important. Next game up is the second leg against Zagreb away. Like I said, we've still got work to do there. In general, I know there's been a couple of highlight games today, so it may be a bit harder to tell. But we've been in good form in terms of results in this episode. But trust me, the performances, they're not terrible, but we've not got off to the blistering start that we did last season, where I was playing full of confidence, ball movement was quick, and this, that and the other. So there's still definitely work to do to just find that extra gear. But at the moment, I believe that O'Donnell, has he just gone there? He has now. I did think that I saw that, but obviously I saw into the future a little bit there. We've got a lot of scout reports back now as well. O'Donnell leaving's not the worst thing in the world now, because obviously we've already got his replacements in. So yeah, the offer for Thomas has got turned down at the moment, only because we've not bought anyone in that position yet. And we get an offer for our young Brazilian goalkeeper, who will be our number 1 keeper next season. So he's not going nowhere, and that does mean we've got to somehow, some way pick up another goalkeeper this season. But yeah, when things calm down and we've got through this transfer window and focus a little bit more on the team as it's settled, as the window closes, we'll probably change some of the training drills, and I'll start boosting up our Brazilian keeper again, young Silva, just so he's ready to take over when Butland goes. I bought Butland in only because we had one goalkeeper on the books, and of course he was a free transfer, so it made sense to do that. And he's not old as a keeper, but he was someone really I bought in more just so we could make some money off of him. So yeah, that was the thinking behind that. So yeah, our Brazilian keeper Silva, he was good towards the end of last season as well, we've got to keep that in mind. But he will be our number 1 next season, so he's not going nowhere, no matter what's offered for him either. Yeah, now into this press conference, we see it was something there about the transfer window. I didn't catch it quite in time, but yeah, the answer is we are trying to build a winning team. It feels like a little bit of a transition period at the moment. We've got a few players that have left now. We've got a few come in as well, and that could be contributing to the fact we're not quite as joined up at the moment as we were last season. Obviously we've got new players trying to bed in, so I don't know if that plays a part or not, but we definitely don't feel as fluent as we were. So once again, we're going to change the team for this game. Junior comes back in. Balwain is actually going to start this game because Cameron started the first leg. We can always bring Cameron back on later. Tonali's going to get a rest in this one, like we did against Legia. Who else changes? So Yearwood's going to play in this one. Again, Thomas gets the nod because Hazard needs a rest. We've got Diaby back at right back. Corey plays instead of Robinson this time. And yeah, that's pretty much it really. That's the team for this one. We're in a comfortable position at the moment where 0-0 is a good enough result, obviously. But we obviously do want to go and get an away goal today if we can. We just don't want to be reckless and lose the winning position that we're in trying to get it. But it's a good early start here. Junior hits one, but he took a little bit too long there, really, and that's what I'm on about. We're just not like clicking. We're not on fire at the moment. If he hits that first time, he's got a much better chance of scoring than he actually ends up with. But nevertheless, it's a chance created and it's a positive start, and that's exactly what we need. As is this. That's good quick football again. Oh, that is a great ball from Junior as well. And we've got Seedorf in now. He's cutting in. He's got to hit it. He has hit it and it's gone just wide. Got caught in two minds there. Was thinking, do we go with a finesse and try and bend it in, or do we just carry on and hit it with that right foot? Probably the wrong decision in the end, which goes again to prove what I've been talking about at the moment. We're just not on fire at the minute. Paid too much attention to the defenders catching back up instead of having the confidence to just take it with a left like we probably would have last season. But again, encouragement. 10 minutes in and we've had two good chances. As long as we keep doing that, eventually one of them's going to go in. We are moving the ball nicely, as you can see at the moment, and that surely was a foul there, but it wasn't given. Again, they were aggressive in the first leg, so we should probably expect that again. But yeah, 15 minutes in now. We're supposed to just keep it tight in the first 20 minutes. Not concede anything, but we've been better than that at the moment. Just got to deal with this now, which we do quite comfortably actually. We've played it out brilliantly again there. That was a good idea. We do actually get it to him, not the way it was planned, but it did end up there. Junior's held it up well there and got the free kick as well, and that will take us to the first 20 minutes where you're supposed to, in history, ride a storm. Instead, we've been the one causing it. We have a shot from way downtown there. The ball has been recycled by us. Junior again doing what he does, just dictating things. He's a really good number 10, really good. We've moved it out nicely to the right here. There's nothing really on for Diaby though. Akore plays it back and we're out back on the left again now. Can we just get through there? Waters has done quite well there. Seedorf again, but the keeper makes the save. And we are having a really good first half at the moment, guys. Really happy with what I'm seeing. And that carried on all the way through till the end of the first half. We did, oh hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. We got Seedorf in again here. He can go on that left foot if he wants to now, but he chooses the right and again puts it wide. It's change time for Zagreb now, but yeah, we continue to dominate the first half all the way through. They had one little luck at goal at the end of the first half, but nothing major. And the seconds continued how the first started. We've been the team on top, creating, well, that was probably the first good chance of the second half. So yeah, still at the moment happy with how things are going. Zagreb have not looked threatening in the slightest. They'll put a cross in here. It's not really dealt with though, and oh my god, just like that. I was just saying how they've done nothing really. They didn't really do anything there. That is down to a poor header. I'm not sure who it was who got his head on it. Couldn't make it out, but just like that, they're not now just back in the game on aggregate. Things have changed massively now because they are actually winning the game now on away goals. So yeah, in a weird kind of way, everything has changed, like I just said, but in another sense, it hasn't really, because we did need an away goal anyway. We've been pushing for it all game. It's just not gone in yet, but Balbuena can change that now. He does probably choose the right option and played it across the box. Didn't reach its target though. We got Seedorf now trying to just play a little 1-2 there that didn't come off with Yearwood, I believe it was. That's decent. That's very decent ball movement there from Zagreb. We cannot afford to concede again. If we do, mind you, again, even if we did, it wouldn't change all that much because we still need that goal now anyway. Yeah, as is the beauty of the away goals. If we were to concede again and then equalise on aggregate, we would actually be the ones going through, I believe, or it'd go to extra time. I don't know. But in any event, we just need a goal. Oh, that's a good shot. Good save from the keeper, though. And now it's time for us to start thinking about some changes. Balbuena has been pretty quiet in this game. Thomas is coming off for Hazard. Cruz is looking like he's coming on the right. And Cameron, who got the 2 goals in the first game, quite unlucky not to play today, but with us having the advantage, I did quietly, confidently come here thinking that we would probably extend that advantage, and Balbuena has been good at finishing. He's got quite a few goals this season already, as you know. Yes, most of them in pre-season, but that's where he's mainly played. And can Cruz just get through here now? He's took it a bit close to the defender with that last touch while he was just trying to break. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for him, but we do still move the ball on now. Yearwood's got a bit of room. There's a lack of movement in front of him though, and we end up losing the ball. And now we're really pushing. This is what we've got to be careful of. These are obviously going to play counter now. We've just got to watch the don't go and slip another one in. And time is starting to be against us now, guys. Junior's got one through to Hazard there though. He's had to go around the slide tackle. He manages it somehow. He's still got the ball. But we really need to bang one in the back of the net real soon. Junior now, good save from the keeper. And that's exactly that. Just keep pressing now. Try and get this equaliser. We really need it now. That is such a poor corner. Don't know what was going on there. We've still got it though. With Yearwood, he's decided to run forward. He beat his man well there. Cruz was waiting for him to make a move back in. He's finally done it. We have got in the ball, and now it was blocked. I was going to say we've got a good shot on goal, but good defending, I suppose, in the end. Just putting their bodies on the line now, trying to hold on to this. I'm hoping that if things don't go the way we want, that we will still get Europa League at least. I'm not sure if that only comes in, is it at the end of the group phase? I don't know. But we want to be having these Champions League nights, so we've got another probably couple of opportunities at the most now. We really need to do something with one. Couldn't quite get Hazard in there. We're pressing high, just trying to get the ball back in a good area. Zagreb have been good at playing their way back out quite quickly when we've lost the ball. And now we can't go quick. That is amazingly us out. After playing really well in the second leg, we lost. Played poorly in the first leg and we won. But yeah, once again knocked out of a European competition on away goals. Really disappointing. I did also mention the spending being circumstantial earlier as well. So yeah, we could be in for tough times in January now if we're not in the Europa League. We're doing well in the league though. We're on a par with Celtic at the moment. Both of us have won all of our games. Yeah, really tough. Once again, feeling a lot gutted after a European night and having to pick ourselves up again for another league game straight away almost against Hibs here. We'll have a quick look maybe at the calendar, and the calendar does confirm that we are at least getting the token prize of going back into the Europa League. So we get another bash at the Europa League this season. Hopefully we can do better than we did during our first campaign. We would have learnt a lot from there, obviously. Even though it's hard to sit here and say that to you when I made probably what you guys would call the same mistakes again by putting out a weakened team in Europe. But the thing is, both times in the end of the league season, the league itself, the domestic league, has proved to be a really close for competition. So yeah, we can't afford to be putting weakened teams out in the league and risk losing points on Celtic and Rangers or whoever it might be at the time. Now, obviously, we know Valenzuela has unfortunately had to leave the club. We just couldn't afford to turn the money down, but that leaves us now needing to replace him. And I think, if I remember rightly, we do start looking like we are now, and actually, but seriously looking at replacing him before we get into the Hibs game. Just a little bit of the delaying tactic by myself instead of jumping in while I still felt disappointed about Europe and risking another really bad result. I decided to break it up a little bit and look at replacing Valbuena now. We're going through all the options. We've got all of the scout reports back, obviously. Just checking out really the player stats and things like that. But not only that, financially, what they're going to be probably asking in the region of what wages they're on at the clubs they're at now and all these kinds of things. We don't want to be jacking up what we're paying too much and upsetting the players that we've got now, because obviously if we've only won the league once, there's nothing to say that we'll do it again this season. Obviously we almost screwed it up last season right at the very end, and it ended up going on to the very last day. And the one thing that I do like about where we are now is the fact that you've got to finish first to even have any chance of getting into the Champions League. So we've got to keep all of these little factors in mind when we're spending money, because obviously we want to keep making money, more money and more money, and when we get to a certain point, then we can afford to pay those kind of wages on the regular and things like that. That's when we'll start seeing ourselves in the latter stages of European competitions and this, that and the other. So like I said at the top of this episode, really, it's baby steps that we're taking at the moment, and I'm completely fine with that. Obviously, we're not even going to be competing in the Champions League this season, which gives this career that I'm enjoying at least another season. And of course, I don't just want to end it when we win the Champions League once. The whole point of this, if I don't lose my job in the meantime, is to create a super club, like we keep saying, which means we want a rich European history as well as a good domestic one. So we're moving in now to a potential replacement for Valbuena. I'm not going to miss trying to say his name either, to be fair. We're going in for Balotore here. His value is 8 million. I think we're probably, with his age, going to have to pay a little bit more than that, which for once we're in a position where we can do so. And we still wouldn't be spending the club's money in a way, because this would be more than covered by Valbuena's transfer fee that we got for him. So he was happy with 9.5 million. He said it's a fair offer. I think it's fair as well. So we'll go in now and we'll see what sort of wage he's asking for. I know already he's on more than I'm willing to pay, but hopefully we can get him down to a realistic kind of figure. He wants crucial first team, which he's 76 rated. Valbuena's gone, so crucial is absolutely fine. That's the kind of player that we are looking for. He wants 3 years, so obviously we'll get as much out of it as we can, and we'll get that extra one. Doesn't want a release clause, which is absolutely fine by me. And now we come to the salary part. Now he's on 24k already. I almost feel like I'm insulting him, offering him 10k. So we are going to put in quite a hefty signing bonus, and we'll just see. If he storms out, we look for someone else at the end of the day. I would like him, but if not, there is other players on the shortlist. So we'll see what he says. Now, to me, watching this guys back with you guys, I would more than accept that deal. But at the time, I remember that our highest paid player was on 10, so I was trying to get as close to that as possible, and we'll see here whether we manage to do that or not. He wants an extra grand a week, so I'm going to knock 100,000 off of the signing on fee, and we'll see if we can meet at that. And the answer is no. He's now decided he wants a lot more wages than I'm willing to pay. So we're going to go back in again at 11, and we'll offer him the full million, I believe we did this time, that I'd offered him with the 10, and we'll see what he says there. Surely he's going to accept that. He looks quite happy, but for some reason the Norwich manager sitting there is the one who's going to make the decision. And he decides, no, we do want 14.5, and this time we want more on the signing fee as well. And at this point I was starting to get a bit irritated with it. So again, I've knocked off half of the 11, and I know he's not going to accept this. So now he's decided he's going to play even more hardball, and he wants 15k, and he's not getting that out of me. So we go ahead and we end the negotiations there, and we will not be getting Bolo Toure, which was probably a mistake on my part. Now I'm watching this back with you, I probably should have accepted the 12k. It weren't that bad of a deal, and now we find ourselves looking again at who we can bring in, and we probably gonna go back to Monaco again, because out of the two that I'm looking at, I do prefer this guy Etienne here. Much better athlete, good enough technically, probably needs a bit of training, but he's good enough at the moment, and we'll see what we can do with him. I don't anticipate that he's going to be anywhere near the transfer fee that we just paid for Bolo Toure, and he's not. There you can see 1.8 million. I think, yeah, I was really frustrated at the end of this episode. I weren't really thinking that rationally. I probably should have cut the episode at the end of the Champions League game, because yeah, I sort of lost my way a little bit. That result, even at this point, was still really grating on me. The fact that we're not in the Champions League has really gutted me, and yeah, I will admit it was affecting my decision making even after the game. So in a way, I am kind of glad that I took time out from the football itself before we played Hibs. And as you can see, this is moving along quite quickly at the moment. It's just now, there you go, that is a much more like it offer. We're not going to mess around. There you go, bang, job done, and we now have ourselves a new left back. Not the one that I was going after, but still, in any event, he's good enough. He's better than Waters. There's still maybe time to bring in another, maybe first team, because obviously he's not as good as Valenzuela was. I was looking at what we've got in the reserves there, and we have got Duncan that can come in and do a job at left back as well. So maybe we just settle with what we've got there just for now. Not too sure. We'd become a little bit unbalanced if we go and sign yet another left back now. Maybe January. We'll see where we are as a club in January. I don't know what happened from here and what we're looking for at the moment. There's Rico there. Could have gone for him. His wages are a bit on the high side though. So yeah, we may in the next episode trim this list a little bit shorter. Who knows, maybe I'll do it off camera and I'll show you guys what's left, or maybe I'll just leave it exactly as it is. we will wait and see on that. At the moment, I'm really struggling and can't remember exactly what it is I was looking at doing here. I know we've got some money left over after sorting the defence out. If you remember rightly, I don't think it was this episode, I think it was the one before, where I turn around and I says we need to sort out the right hand side of the pitch, but more importantly than anything, right back situation, and we've done that now and got money left over. So I am looking, as you can see here, at right midfielders, right wingers, whatever you want to call them at the moment. There is a good few options. Hazard can also move out to the right, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but I think he can. I've been looking at Barco for a while now. St. Maximin's there as well. I'd really love to get this guy in, but his wage is just going to be a no. I do believe I test the waters here, but yeah, he wants way too much money. We did go in for Barco as well and have an offer accepted. And then I looked at this guy. We had an Ito at Warsaw, remember, but it wasn't the same one. But he looks quite impressive. I don't imagine, as you can see there, that he cost much either. So yeah, he would be quite a nice little signing for us, especially the fact that we're looking to move Thomas on. The way that he's been playing this season, it doesn't make any sense to keep him around. So we offer a flat 3 million for Ito. That gets accepted straight away. We go and try and negotiate a deal now. I believe that this one does go through. I'm not too sure what we end up paying for him or anything like that. So we'll watch through and get the details of his contract. He's happy with rotation. We're going to go for the full 5 years if it's us asking. He says no, we want 3, so we will meet in the middle and do the 4. He's obviously not going to get a release clause. He's happy to not have one as well. Now, who does the wage? He does. He only wants 4.5k, guys, which is, it's fine with me. The 40k signing on fee, fine with me as well. And just like that, we now get a new winger into the club. One that I'm more than happy with. He's rated higher than Seedorf, I just noticed there already. So yeah, that was him through the door. Thomas now can go onto the transfer list. I was really still quite angry about that result. As you can see there, I didn't even drop him for a few games. He is going straight on the transfer list. Maybe I'll reconsider that if he's not gone by the end of this episode. But yeah, at the moment I was just really still seething about that result. I couldn't shake it. It really, I don't know what it is. I just really want them Champions League nights, obviously. But yeah, we'll put a team out now that's good enough, hopefully, to go and beat Hibs. Ito's not going to get his debut today, based off of form. Hazard's doing okay. Seedorf is having quite a good start to the season, so they're both going to stay in. We're going, obviously, full strength, just checking that everything's as it should be there. In terms of the full-backs bombing forward and that is all fine. So yeah, let's get into this game then. And I did decide just to do highlights, guys, because I just noticed when I was recording this that we were looking at almost an hour's worth of episode again. So still not really in the best frame of mind we're going to this game, but Seedorf lifts my spirits almost straight away with a goal there. He tried that twice in the Champions League qualifier and it didn't go in, but it does this time. And then Parrott runs through, just puts one in the bottom corner, waits almost for the keeper to go down and make his mind up for him, and that is us 2-0 up already. Hibs do go ahead and smash one back in here. Nice composed volley, goes straight past the keeper, unfortunately. So yeah, they got back in it. We do again get the ball to Parrott, but this time he misses, or does he? It comes very unluckily off the keeper, ricochets back off the defender, and obviously Parrott can't claim that. That goes down as an own goal. Then with just 10 minutes left, we get Seedorf in again. He hits one, and again it sails into the far corner, and that is us 4-1 up at the moment. Going really, really well. With a few minutes left, keeper gets his hand to the cross. Unfortunately, striker reacts before the defender, bangs one in, and the game ends 4-2. Ending this episode on a decent note, guys. Thanks once again for watching. Hope you're all well, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.